Hi everyone. As of July 8th, it has been 6 months since I've been on testosterone, and today's the 12th. I know I'm a few days belated, but things have been crazy this week. Let's go ahead and give you an update. Uh, there have been actually quite a few changes over the last few months, but I'm just going to just kind of combine them in a 2 month span instead of my usual month to month thing I've been doing before. Uh, Mostly the changes that are happening now are just sort of a gradual, but like the same issue kind of thing. But well, let's get to it. Just a pre-warning, there will be some sort of explicit things I'll be saying, mostly relating to sex and sex organs. When I asked my partner what she noticed, particularly before I recorded this, she said two main things. She said that I definitely have a flatter face. And I said, well, in what way in particular? And she said it had to do with my cheeks mostly. Just they've gotten flatter. They're not as like poofy as they used to be, which is really remarkable to me. When I was a kid, I was actually called chipmunk cheeks, and it's just weird that it's just kind of not a thing anymore when it used to be such like a major part of me. uh, the other thing is she said, well, obviously like your hair's been growing, but like the thing that stands out is your sideburns. And I said, well, you just like you look at me and like you see them there. And she just says, well, yeah. And that's like the thing that she notices, like that it's obvious apparently. uh which is a change from 2 months ago when I remember saying that I have seen a lot of facial hair growth, uh, but I mean, I'm the only one that notices, and just normal, just like if you were to look at me, like you couldn't really tell. But she says that's a thing. Uh, I think personally that just looking at myself every day in the mirror, uh, that there are some other things that are pretty distinctive compared to 2 months ago. And that is particularly on my chin. Like it's pretty obvious now that it's there, but I feel like you wouldn't really uh, tell unless you went out of your way to. But it's definitely way more distinctive and darker and maybe possibly thicker than 2 months ago. Uh, Also, my trail is pretty crazy now. Like it's pretty coarse and kind of goes in different directions, and it's way darker and hairier than ever before. Uh, it's also on my chest, just like a whole bunch of hairs, like on my breasts as well, and in kind of weird other places, like my toes, kind of feel more like a hobbit lately. It's weird. Uh, and just the fact that I'm getting so many hairs all over my body that are just, in my opinion, very obvious is very weird at this 6 month point because I am taking a really low dose. And so what I'm wondering is if I were going on a full dose like a normal trans man, like how things would be different, like exactly how hairy I would end up being, because it just seems like my body wants to do that. So that's really weird. Uh, so obviously my voice is beginning to change, even more than ever. Whenever people don't see me in a while, they like that's the first thing that comes out of their mouth, just like, "Oh, your voice is changing like a lot," and it's true. Uh, like that's exactly. I mean, it's a conversation starter, is what it is. uh, oh, the other thing is, I was saying 2 months ago that my sex drive has kind of developed a bit of normalcy now, and I feel like it was a little premature to say. What it really is that it goes in waves, and when it's back on again, it's so rampant that I swear to God, just like the littlest thing can rile me to the point where, I mean, I mean, I just need to release myself just right away, and it's crazy. I mean, my sex drive can be rampant, but at other times it just kind of dies off, and it goes in waves, to be more accurate. Uh, my clitoris has gotten a little bit bigger too. I wouldn't say by much really at all, but it has. It's gotten a little bit wider too. I mean, really, if anything, a millimeter. I mean, you wouldn't really be able to tell unless you were looking at it all the time, like I do. Uh, Another kind of weird thing that I've noticed is that there is a bit of weight distribution around my vaginal area too. Uh, Mostly, like like the mounds, like the pubic mound area, and then like how it divides around the vagina. It's gotten really, really thick and puffy, and I just feel like touching it, like it can get longer than it ever was before. I don't know if that's weird. Like I don't know quite how to explain it, but it's like it just feels like there's more there, which is weird. I looked it up, and apparently it is a thing that happens for people that take testosterone. So, I mean, maybe it's not so weird so much as I'm just surprised that it's happening so uh, rampantly and so soon. Uh, the Well, the last thing I wanted to point out that has been a major change is, well, a month ago I did get my period like normal, but this time I didn't, and mostly it's just that like it's really, really late. I don't want to say for sure that I have stopped having my period, but I do know that it's been exceptionally longer of a time than ever before. I I've never had a late period before, and it's definitely late. Like I would say it's going on 2 weeks now, I think, if not more, uh, that I was supposed to have gotten my period and did not. So uh, that's another kind of surprising thing that I think anyway, as a low dose testosterone taker, because I just didn't expect it to happen so soon, because I hear testimonials about how trans men stop getting their period around like maybe the 3 month point, but I'm still taking such a low dose, and it's still the same dose that I was ever taking from the very beginning, and I might have stopped getting my period. I don't know if that's actually going to be the case or if it's just going to be belated, but either way, I'll report back and let you know. Uh, well, there's another thing I just wanted to point out, and that's just kind of been an emotional change. Mostly just that I'm getting more comfortable with being, uh, I guess, quote unquote, girly. Um, in the stereotypical way, that is, as in I've been wearing skirts, mostly just wraps. I have been wearing makeup every now and then, even at work where I am out as trans. And I mean, I just feel generally more comfortable with doing that. And just as a disclaimer, like I am not transitioning for anyone but myself. So, I mean, don't get that idea, but I'm just saying that it feels more comfortable to do that now than ever before, because I will say that the more I am taking injections, the more likely I am to every once in like maybe 70 people be called sir, which tells me that I'm doing something right. That like I wanted to present as more androgynous, and that's exactly kind of the impression that I'm getting from other people. So I do kind of feel sort of more empowered to kind of dress how I want, and feel less awkward about being just automatically out, just assumed to be a girl. So that's been really nice. I just feel more comfortable doing that now, and I'm just going to keep on doing that, and just more and more feeling kind of more like myself. I don't know if I'm making any sense or if I'm just kind of rambling, but yeah, if you have any questions, just ask, let me know, and I'll try to clarify things as I can. That's really about it. I'll see you in 2 months.